Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I'm Stan the Radio Man, and you are invited to another experience, expedition, show, program, whatever it turns out to be. This is the Interesting Ideas Radio program. And today we're going to be talking about standing up. That's right, one of the keys to success in life and business and radio sometimes is all about standing up. So on this day after the Memorial Day holiday, many people in North America here in the United States are getting back to work after the holiday and preparing for the summer ahead. And all of us are looking forward to the second part of 2024, maybe hoping it'll be a little bit better than the first part. And so let's get off to a good start. Let's stand up to the challenge and see if we can make it work. I'm Stan, and the program, it begins right now. Okay, first of all, that's exactly the case. Right now, I am right in front of the microphone, looking right into it, and I make sure that it's just exactly in the right place and space. I look for the brand. Now, those of you who remember playing baseball years and years ago, the old wooden bats, you had to make sure that the trademark was in the right place so you wouldn't break or splinter the bat. Well, oftentimes when it comes to a microphone, you have to make sure that the trademark is in the right place. And so I've made sure that I'm looking directly into it. I'm actually positioned just right for it. And so I am standing up. That's right. I am not sitting in my radio chair. I'm not sitting in my studio chair. I'm standing up as I present the program. And I usually do that whenever I can. I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the ways and whys of standing up. Here we go. How does that go now? Well, let me make it this way. First of all, I hadn't been on the radio for 2 or 3 days. Now, back in the days when I was fortunate enough just to perhaps have the weekend shift off, and I was on the weekday shift, what would happen is on Saturday and Sunday, I wasn't on the radio. And guess what? Monday mouth would usually get you. That's correct. You see, in this world of radio and performance, which we are all in, it's just like someone said, if I go without practicing my piano for a day or two, I will notice it. If I do it for longer, other people will notice it. And if I go even longer, everybody will notice it. What is true of any performing art, you have to keep doing it. And so, since I hadn't been at it for a couple days, I had to make sure. First of all, I'm standing up. Then I went through my vocal exercises, just as you know that every good singer has a warm-up. They may sing the scales, they may sing words to the song, but I have to warm up. I have to flex my arms. I have to flex my mouth. I have to make sure that my diction is strong, that I'm opening my mouth, I'm not slurring. I have to warm up and get ready to be on the radio because it is a performing art. Now, I also realize that it is easier to do that if I'm standing up. That also means that when I am able to speak, I am not sitting in a chair, kind of wrinkling up what used to be a bigger stomach. It's smaller now. I've lost a bit of weight, which is good. But that means when I wrinkle down like that, that means I am not pushing the air from my tummy through my lungs and giving me greater resonance. If I'm not doing that, then I'm talking from the top of my lungs and even my throat, and I will lose the bass, I will lose some of the resonance, I may even squeak. It will not quite have the presence and the power that I want. So part of that is just what I told a group of 3 of my friends who have started a podcast. And they're excited about it. It's going pretty well, but they've got lots to learn. And I found out that there were problems with the levels and the sound. And so I just gave them a little lesson, and I said, "You're not standing up, are you?" "Oh, no, we're sitting comfortably in a chair." I say, "You can sit in a chair, but you can't be comfortable. At least not when you're speaking." Now, I hardly even sit in a chair when I'm on the radio. If I do, I make sure that I sit on the very edge of it and my back is straight up, my chest is out, my shoulders, back, and that's how I speak. I'm at attention when I am speaking. Now, there may be times when it's a little more casual, but if I go into a more casual mode, for some reason, I still have to, and a lot of people forget this, I still have to keep my voice, fully present. I can't do too much up and down. I have to do some. I have a lot of vocal variety, but I have to make sure that I understand that guess what is happening? Happening. As I say, radio is one person who's blind talking to another person who is blind. Think about that. That's what you have to do. So that means that all of our expression, the gestures we could give or the facial and body expressions that we could give in our communication, we can't do that. So it all has to be through the power of our presentation, our expression, our use of our wording, speaking, performing, communicating that way. And so I really recommend that you think about standing up. By the way, I am also old-fashioned. When a lady approaches a table, I stand up. I know that's weird today, but that's what I was told by my father, and I still do it. I believe standing up shows a real respect. If I'm greeting somebody, for instance, let's say I were in my office and somebody would come in, I would stand up and go and greet them. That's just what I do. And of course, now I want you to start noticing how certain people who have a little bit of this knowledge and understanding, how they begin to respond to people coming. Do they stand? Are they really fully present? Are they very much engaged? Can you just sense by how they stand and how they present themselves that they think that you are important? And they're going to give you their full presence and attention. The people who stand up know something about that. And I would just encourage you now to think about that. And Donald Trump made a mistake, I'm told. I will find out if it's true because he may have changed his mind. But let me tell you the mistake he might have made. We'll be right back. Well, during that time, of course, I made sure I had a drink of water to make sure that that was okay. Did a little stretching, made sure that I was fully ready for the second half of the program. And I will do that quite often. I know that it's not just a speaking presentation, it is a full body performance that I have to give. I actually even move my hands. I talk with my hands when I'm on the radio because that's where I sometimes give and get energy and expression. So standing up. Now, supposedly, Donald Trump and Joseph Biden, they're going to, since they're the major candidates for the presidency, Joe Biden has told that he will challenge Donald Trump to a debate. Well, Donald Trump had already accepted that because he had actually made the challenge and the commitment some time ago. He said, I'll debate anywhere, anytime, any place, anyway. And so that has been agreed to. But supposedly that Donald Trump said, and they want it to be a sitting debate where we just sit and talk. And he said, I'm not going to do that. And I said, good for him. And then I also heard that maybe he'd backed out of that and said he would sit for the debate. I don't know which is right yet. You can let me know. But I will tell you that he should not sit at all. In fact, my coaching to him would be is if they insist on the sitting for the debate, okay, you sit for the debate, but I would then encourage you, when it's your turn to talk, get up, stand behind your chair, and then talk. But talk to the audience. Don't talk to your opponent in the debate. Remember, the debate is for the audience. It's not a conversation just between you and your debating opponent. It is for the audience, and they're the ones you should direct to. Now, if you want to make a comment in a response, very quickly do that in a word or a sentence at the most, and then continue standing up straight and tall and making contact with your audience and being able to, as you stand, look around at different places, make a point of checking various spots in the audience. In fact, some professional speakers will oftentimes make a point of, and sometimes they'll actually have people in the audience that they make a point of talking to that particular part of the audience or place where the presentation is. So I hope he will stand up. So there we go. I'm just going to encourage you now that I'm trying to help people have a greater sense of presence, image, and presentation skills. And if you're going to be a podcaster, I really would encourage you, do as I do. Make sure the table you have is probably not a standard table, but the proverbial bar stool table. If you do want to sit on a stool, make sure it is perhaps what I say, the bar stool size. And again, sit on the edge. So in effect, you're always in almost a standing up position. You'll get used to it. In fact, you'll find it somewhat uncomfortable when you don't do that. And more, you will feel kind of the power of your own presence as you do what you were made to do. Stand up, stand up, stand up. And in doing so, who knows, you might even stand out. Hey, thank you for your time. I hope this has been helpful. I'm going to take a drink of water, and then I'm going to finish up with some clarity and conviction and maybe something of hope and help for you. We'll be back. Here's the deal. We are going into June, the second half soon of 2024. It's not going to get better. It's not. Not in the next 6 months. Politically, socially, it's not going to get better. It may get worse. So, the fact is that, however, just because things are not going to get better doesn't mean you can't get better. And so what I did over Memorial Day is what I often do, is I sit down. Then I sit down, because then I'm going to perhaps think and pray and read and take my notebook out, and I'm going to decide, how do I want my life to be different? First of all, by September, and then by December. What am I going to do to give me greater confidence, greater skill, greater understanding, maybe a greater sense of gentleness, kindness? How can I be a better man, a better husband, a better father, a better worshiper, better at the work I do, and how can I better serve the people I care about and the customers that I have been so blessed with, and the clients that I have, and all of the blessings that I have received? How can I be better in blessing others? So that's my thought for today on this Tuesday evening, and I would ask you to give it some consideration, and then stand up, walk around, and just think about it. Let it sit on your head. Perhaps stir your mind, and perhaps then touch your heart. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Take care, walk tall, and bye for now.